Just give us your overview of your team.
Yeah, no, we're excited about this group. It's a pretty good mix. We got some experience coming back in some certain areas, but then we also got some youth in certain areas. So it's for a coach, this is kind of what you want because you weren't too senior heavy and you weren't you're not just so young. So it's a good group for us. So we're looking forward to it, and we're gonna have to play through some inexperience and stuff like that early in the year. But like I said, our goal is hopefully by the time we get to the end of the season, hopefully into the playoffs, all these guys have at least a year underneath their belt, and now the inexperienced stuff is kind of out of the way.
I know that you guys have had months to work with your players, and once that season's over, you kind of start moving on. But you guys did lose DJ on your defensive line. You lost a really experienced quarterback. Can you talk specifically about trying to replace those two guys? Because they were very important to your success the last couple of years, and now they're going on playing college football.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't really think of it like that. We're not trying to replace DJ Dell or Willie Miller. We try to take the guys that we have and put them in the best positions to be successful and help our team be successful. We put a lot of emphasis on we want to develop every football player in our program, all right? Because again, you never know when one guy's going to go down or you need another guy to step up in this position, whatever the case is. So the way we feel about it is these guys have been getting prepared for the last 2 to 3 years regardless. So even though they may not have been the starter, we've got guys stepping in those roles that we feel like have a lot of experience and are ready for the challenge.
And speaking of that, how do you feel about being the guy to replace Willie?
I feel good. I feel like if I just be a leader and just take care of my team and just take care of my teammates and do what I need to do, we're going to be okay.
Michael, what position did Coach say you're playing?
Wide receiver.
Coach, you get 2 of your big stars here. We know some positions are being replaced. Without letting too much of your game plan away, what's one guy that we haven't seen? Maybe a couple of guys that we haven't seen that you want to maybe mention?
Yeah, on the opposite side of football, like I said, with our quarterback with Damian, we've seen him a little bit in the last year and stuff like that, but I think you're going to really be able to see him showcase his talents. Michael is a big-time, returning starter for us that kind of led us with the receiving last year. Of course, he's back. But we got a lot of guys. We got several running backs with Hinkle and Cameron Williams and Osley, who are all young kids that have a lot of talent. And then you got some other receivers with Marquarius White and Tristan Jones out on the edge that I think are going to be very explosive for us and allow us to kind of spread the field and kind of put defenses in the bind.
You guys made it to the semifinals the last 2 years. I just looked this up because I didn't want to get it wrong. I think it's 6 of the last 7 years. Clay-Chalkville's won 10 or more games. That doesn't guarantee anything this year, but it does. I mean, you guys have some tradition. You guys, there's a level of expectation that comes with that kind of winning. How do you guys deal with that? Do you think that's good or bad?
No, I think it's a good thing. As long as you handle it a certain way and you put it in perspective, it's a good thing that's kind of the culture there at Clay is we expect to be great. We expect excellence, and our guys have bought into that. And what they got to understand is we've got to continue that. You're not guaranteed anything, just because we've won 10 games in the last so many years, that doesn't mean anything for this year. We still have to go out and earn it. But it is a very good thing in the fact of they've been around it. They've seen how it's done. They got to use that to their advantage. So again, very, very proud of that. And then, like I said, we think it's a very good thing. We just got to use it in the right way.
For the players, go ahead. For the players, how do you guys use social media in prep for games? Or what do you use social media at all? Watching other teams, promote yourself?
Yes, sir. We just try to watch a lot of film. Film is a big thing with social media, but mainly, like before our games, we just try to leave social media alone because it can be considered a distraction. Just focus on us and just make sure that we're prepared, make sure that we got our mind right to do what we need to do and to win the ball game.
Yeah, the same thing you said. We just try to stay out there before the games. Because, it can lead to something that's, bigger than what it's supposed to be. We try try to stay out. So.
And Coach, how has that changed your game in the last couple of years?
Well, social media has become a big deal, and I'm probably the world's worst at it. I don't even really know how to get on there. But it has become an important part of a lot of programs. And so we try to use it to promote positive things that our guys are doing and about our program. And then again, to kind of just set the expectation level of what we want and what we expect out of our kids every single day. And so, like I said, we want to use it for a positive thing, but we also, got to put it in the spot every now and then.
What, if any, advice do you and your staff give your players about social media and how or when or not to use it?
Yeah, we just tell them all the time it's their resume. I mean, it's what you put on film every single day, and what you put on social media and all that kind of stuff. That's your resume. That's telling everybody else like who you are. So either we can use that for the good, all right, or you can use it for the bad. But that is totally up to them, and we just try to guide them in the right way to handle that, to use it the right way to help them be successful. Because again, at the end of the day, when they leave us, we want them to be better men, better football players, better students, to go out in the world and represent us the way that we know that they can.
What kind of safeguards, if any, do you guys put on yourselves with regards to social media?
Just making sure that we don't put nothing that would put our team in the position to think that we represent ourselves in any negative way. Everything we do is positive, because it's not only our resumes, Coach Gilman's resume, it's our position coach resume, it's our school resume as a whole. So we got to make sure that everywhere we go, we present our school as a whole as a positive, good place in the best way we can.
What do you think, Jermaine?
Yeah, I just try to put like sports stuff and like motivational stuff, like positive stuff on it.
Coach, back to the players a little bit. Tell us about your third party of the game, your kicker.
Yeah. Van Winkle. We're very excited about him. He's been very good for us the last 2 years. Kind of started for us as a freshman with some place kicking type stuff, and then last year kind of took on everything. And so he's coming back this year as a junior, and he's been in the weight room. He's gotten bigger. He's gotten stronger. So he's going to be a real weapon for us this year. And that's something too that we take a lot of pride in. We take a lot of pride in our special teams because it's the one unit where we are actually a team. The other units, we got half of them on offense, half of them on defense. When we get to special teams, it's where we pull everybody together. All right, and that's us. That's Clay-Chalkville. That's the Clay-Chalkville football team. And so we take a lot of pride in that.
A strong punt return or kickoff return can really be a game changer for you. Who's going to be doing that for you this year?
We got several people. Jamichael will be returning some punts for us and kickoffs. Marquarius White, Tristan Jones. So several guys like that. But even more so than that, we think with special teams, probably what sets the pace and sets the tone more than anything is a good physical hit. And so we're going to put guys out there that are physically tough, and they're going to fly around and knock some people out.
I think you guys take 2 out-of-state trips. I think you go to. Is that right?
No, we're all in state this year.
Okay, it's the opposite.
Yes.
What's from your perspective? What do you get out of playing those out-of-state teams?
Well, to be honest with you, for us, it's just a game that we could find.
Is that a necessity?
Yeah, it is, because it's hard to fill in those non-region games, and sometimes you just get in a bind and you're just looking for, all right, what's the best thing that we can do for our team to play a certain level of competition to get us prepared for that postseason. And so a lot of times it's just a necessity, but it is also too, it's fun. It's fun to play a team that you're not really familiar with, kind of give your kids a different experience. We use it as a chance we want to be able to travel and get away and go do something, so that the first time we do that is not a state championship game. Mm-hmm. And so, we want to use those kind of things to prepare us for the future.
I mean, you were nodding your head up and down. I mean, what do you think are the biggest benefits you get from playing out of state?
Just like he was saying, just with us not, he don't want us to be, that'd be the first time we go anywhere just out of our element, not playing, just being so used to playing at home and stuff. It's good to go out and see different things and play different teams and see different talent from all around the world, just knowing that it's more than just in here where we at.
At the same time, I got to ask you, do you think the Hewitt series can be renewed?
Oh, I'd love for it to be. Yeah, absolutely. I'd love for it to be, because like I said, too close not to be able to play, and it's like I said, it could be a good non-region game that could help us a lot financially too. That's a big deal, especially now. I know talking to a lot of coaches, attendance is down all over the place, and so anytime you can play a good close game like that, the kids, the communities, everybody enjoys it, and then financially it makes sense too.
Mm-hmm.
So we would love for it.
Have you guys had any preliminary discussions about possibly bringing it back?
No, I know. Not necessarily, but if they're interested, we would love to.
I have to ask these guys because I'm sure you guys have friends that play at Hewitt. What do you guys think about not playing?
I mean, I don't really know. Like, we just don't play them. They're just not on the schedule until the next one.
Easy day.
Same thing. I miss it because just the whole build up to it, but it's not a big deal.
Well, minus the Hewitt game that's going now, what's the games that you guys look forward to?
Next game.
Just the next game?
Just the next
No
game.
certain rival that you look forward to coming
That's
out?
the next game. Yes, sir.
What, trying to figure out how to answer this. Go ahead. You got some?
Yep.
Long-term.
Before you became head coach, and maybe you still do, but I think you handled strength and conditioning for Clay-Chalkville. And there was a time when, really wasn't that long ago, but there was a time when the schools that lifted year-round had an advantage. Then it seemed like people who played 7-on-7 and embraced that early had an advantage.
Right.
Do you see a trend going right now that can give you the same advantage? Because almost everybody's lifting year-round now, and almost everybody's playing 7-on-7. So that seems to be the floor instead of the ceiling.
Right.
So what's the new trend?
Everything out there, it's always evolving. If you're not changing, you're getting behind. And so now you just talk about everything that goes into your football program, from strength and conditioning year round. We're talking about speed development. We're talking about 7-on-7 OTAs, our nutrition and supplement plan. You talk about this, film study, character education, leadership development, all those types of things that go into what we do every day. And so it's just really kind of taken off, and it's kind of grown legs and has moved in a different direction.
Is there one new thing since you've become a head coach that you think you guys have done that maybe gives you a little bit of an edge?
No, I mean, I don't think there's anything like revolutionary that we're doing. I think it's all about how we do it. I mean, one thing that I would say about us and our kids and our coaches and all that is when we do something, the intensity level is going to be there. And so, we're not going to go through the motions with anything. And I think, there's no secret recipe that you have that nobody else knows about. Everybody knows what it takes to make a championship caliber team. It's just a matter of, do you have the discipline to do it day in, day out? And so that's the number one thing that we preach to our guys is, when you come in, we got something to do today, but we got to get better at. And if we don't get better, then that's going to cost us down the line. Whether that's a loss late in the season, whether it's a turnover, whatever the case is. If we're not working to get better, it's going to cost us later. So it's just more about how you do it than necessarily what you're doing, because everybody's really kind of doing the same things.
You gonna be glad not to have to see Bo next anymore on film? Or?
Yes, absolutely.
That leads to my question. 2 losses last year, Benson Valley. What has the players? What have you guys learned from those losses to prepare to get better for this year?
We've learned just to get better. Just get better. Just to know that everything we do is for a purpose. No matter if it's big or small, we have to make sure the time that we're given to get better, we make sure we get better. And just treat them as just a regular game. It just doesn't matter if they're in our region, or just treat them as any other game. Just play hard.
Yeah, same thing. Just get better. We gotta just get better.
Coach, what's the last thing you want to tell people about Clay-Chalkville football?
Yeah, just said I'm looking forward to a great year. It's going to be exciting. We got a lot of very talented football players, but I think even more than that, we got a bunch of great kids that represent us the right way. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. The wins, losses, all that kind of stuff takes care of itself. But we got a bunch of young men that do it the right way, that that are special, that are elite, because not everybody's willing to do what they do every day. And so it's always a privilege and fun to get to coach guys like that, because that's not common.
Did you guys play instant replay games last year?
We did. We played in one or two of them.
What did you think?
It's just inconsistent. It's inconsistent. I think the intentions of it is good, but just, what kind of video shots are we getting of it to really overturn something? Heck, I remember I was coaching the All-Star game when we first started doing it, and they were kind of revealing it, and so we were doing it, and we threw a challenge flag, and they didn't even capture the video. So it's just kind of, I don't know. I think it's on the right track, but again, there's got to be some more consistency in there of what type of video shots we're getting of it in order to kind of make
and when
those
you're talking
decisions.
about inconsistency, you're just talking about the quality,
of the film.
shot that you
Not the officials. It's just quality of the film, because again, if most schools are like us, we've got kids filming, and so when you go to another place and you're using their instant replay, well, I don't know what kind of quality shots that their kids are getting, so that affects whether I'm going to throw that challenge flag or not. So I think that is probably the number one thing, is just the consistency and the quality of the video that we get to make those decisions.
Like you said, you guys were only in one or two of those games, but when you did you look at it and think about where the cameras were? In other words, if the end zone camera was on one end and there was a play on the other end, were you thinking, oh, that's so far away that may not even be able to see it?
Yeah, it's going to have to be a call that is pretty obvious from a wide shot view. If you're counting on something being zoomed in and being able to see some small detail thing, good luck with that. It's got to be something that the wide angle can see in order to kind of make those decisions.
Did you make any challenges?
I don't believe I did. No.
Okay. I just wanted to I think I saw something about some of the most overturned things, I think, were ball placement.
Right.
In some cases, the wider angle you do.
That's right. You kind of see where they're down and then where it's marked and that kind of stuff. But like I said, I think it's on the right track, but I think we still just got a long ways to go with just the consistency of it.